All right, Black Power. It's the general. We black in the house, y'all. We black in the house. The general had, you know what I'm saying, took about a week and some days off, but I'm black in the house, family. I know niggas was out there. Oh, that nigga Seti don't know. You know them other niggas out there with them fake YouTube pages and them fake ass religions. They probably praying. I hope that nigga Seti don't never come back. Oh Lord, I hope my dreams have come true. Well, bitch, I'm black. I'm black. I'm here again. You know what I'm saying? I know niggas then fell out. Niggas then motherfucker in the back room crying on them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Hurt they feelings. Where my damn nose at? I hope that nigga don't never come back. He destroyed everything I believed in. I'm black. Got so many guys. Oh, I've been working behind the scene. Don't think I've been, you know what I'm saying? That's just like when a motherfucker, you know, you got your favorite show on TV. They had to take a break and do some writing and shit. Get some of that hot shit up, you know, ready to go back up on the internet. That's right. Let me go in my chat. I know you hating ass niggas out there. Where you at? Let me. Yeah, I know you out there. Come on in. Yeah, I was working. I'm working behind the scene as always. That's right. What up, King R? Django in the house. Hey, Django, email me again, brother. Email me again. I seen you when you had emailed me, but I have fucking made a mistake and mass deleted every fucking thing. So hit me up with your email again so I can get with you. Got Django in the house. Vicious man. So I know I'm good. King Oz in the house. All right, my moderators is in the house. Good. Let me get a glass of water, family. This is a very powerful video today that I'm doing. And then I got one over on Cyrod's page too. You know what I'm saying? So both of them powerful. And I'm lined up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be on this motherfucker every day for about 10, 12 days. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I come. Y'all thought, oh, the Seti, yeah, motherfucker, I was behind the scenes getting that work together. Okay, let me go on up here. Very powerful information I'm going to drop today. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to be on I'm going to be on ancient Egypt, you know, for the next couple months or so. You know what I'm saying? Got to get the family tight. I seen a news editorial where Dr. Ben has been, you know, blessed with a street in New York City, Harlem. That's what's up. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be June 14th, if I'm not mistaken. Caught me by surprise. You know what I'm saying? Caught me by surprise. I wish I could be there. You know what I'm saying? But with the baby, I just can't up and just take off like that. You know what I'm saying? I would need time to plan for that. But damn, I wish I could be there for Dr. Man, I got to get there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? If the ancestors can bless me and my family to get up there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a very significant, you know, as we talking about ancient Egypt, and family blessed me with the news report today. And I was like, damn, that's what's up. He's well deserving of that. And he need a street all over, goddammit, wherever there's black people, because, and I'm gonna do something on Dr. Ben just for that cause coming up soon. Drop it, and show how me and Dr. Ben was getting down. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want, it ain't even the fact that I'm ringing my own bell. But goddamn it, you know what I'm saying? I know who was there, who wasn't there. And that's why them niggas mad at me. I say, Dr. Ben, who been here? Nobody. Okay. So I don't want to hear no motherfuckers, you know, talking about it. I ask him every time. I say, Dr. Ben, who been here to see you? And, you know, it'd be a few family, but it wasn't no major motherfucker. It was the, you know, the family without, you know, who doing the work behind the scene. But them motherfuckers out there been eating on Dr. Ben legacy. Them motherfuckers wasn't there, and they know that. And I wouldn't give a fuck what's coming out they filthy mouths. They done ate on this man's teaching for so long and don't give him credit for. I don't give a fuck if you didn't know or you today, you know, when I do that, your ass gonna know. You understand? If you got an onk on, if you niggas is celebrating Egypt in any which way, form, or fashion, God damn it was Dr. Ben that woke the Western black man and the fucking Eastern black man, niggas in Africa too. He woke their ass up. Shit. He woke their ass up, but it's the Grand Master Dr. Ben that brought us where we at today with the wisdom of ancient Egypt. If you're talking about the 42 negative confession, nigga, it was Dr. Ben that brought it. You understand? Even when we talk about the black, all of the netters, goddamn, I don't give a fuck which one you think your name. Goddamn, it was Dr. Ben that brought the names of the netters to us specifically. And when you were, you know, I was reading books and yeah, you know, they would speak of maybe one deity named it, but they didn't have the imagery. They didn't have the papyruses. You understand? They didn't have the temples. They weren't. Dr. Ben is the one that took us back to ancient Egypt physically and started taking us on, you know, the educational tours, actually showing us our history. That was Dr. Ben. So he's the greatest goddamn teacher. Him and Dr. Clark is the two greatest teachers that ever lived in this goddamn day and age. I don't give a fuck about nobody else, because everybody else was a fraud. When you take that shit and break it down, guys, you had too much cut on that shit. It was more cut than it was raw. You understand what I'm saying? So your shit was all cut. Some of y'all niggas shit was all cut. Straight up. Dr. Ben brought the truth in his rawest form. You see what I'm saying? So he been deserving of a street. They need to name some buildings up there after Dr. Ben. Hold on, let me get some water. All that work he did up there in New York City. I know all them niggas out there that was hating on Dr. Ben, talking that shit. So-called fake ass Hebrew Israelites with they bitch ass. Talking shit. Talking about Dr. Ben, this, that, and the third. I bet you they ain't gonna give your bitch ass teaching no goddamn street. If it is, it's gonna be somewhere where a nigga can't find it. You ain't gonna even know that motherfucker exists. Getting started, you know how I warm up. I ain't been on the internet, but I have been, you know, most definitely, you know, sharpening my sword. You know what I'm saying? But I say that, you know, when I do Dr. Ben, and I'm gonna do him in the upcoming week or so. You know, sit down and show you the greatness of that Grand Master. If you got a Hong Kong, you understand what I'm saying? Or any of that. You know what I'm saying? Your ass talking about the Nile Valley, Nubia. You understand what I'm saying? Maya, all of that. You understand what I'm saying? That's the Grand Master teach. Today, we're going to be dealing with the Abydos Kings list and biblical chronology refuted. And I love this because it's just, you know, it just fired me up, boy. When I get to talking about Dr., it just fired me up to just dig in your motherfucking chest even harder. You know, I needed that energy. You know what I'm saying? And so, what it is, see, we got all these niggas out here still talking about this biblical nonsense, this biblical bullshit. And that's exactly what it is. Because the information is so heavy to refute it, I don't even see how no silly ass nigga would try to, you know, take up for the book, knowing damn well that it's so many holes in the motherfucker. It just you can't fill up all the holes. You can't do it. Can't close too many holes. Holes and holes and holes. It ain't holy. We know HOLY is holy. WHOLEY. Holy. You know what I'm saying? full of holes. You see what I'm saying? And so we're gonna show you, specifically with the Abydos. Now, where's Abydos? And I'm gonna, I'll give you some images we're gonna bring up. Abydos is a city in mid Egypt. It's in mid Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? But it's very significant because there you find the temple of Osiris. Okay, you got the Osiris, and it was constructed. Now it's two parts of the temple. You got the Osirian, which is in back of the main temple, which was created and by two great kings, King Seti Menma'at the first. If you want to look him up, okay, you want to look him up, and then his son Ramesses the second, okay, and it's called the Temple of Abydos, which I was blessed to go to that temple 3 times, and in that particular temple, and the reliefs in there is some of the greatest and best reliefs ever. The carvings on the wall, the colors, it's some of the best. And that's one thing I must say about Seti. Even when you go to the Valley of the Kings, Seti put it down. He put it down hard. He had the best, when it comes to reliefs in his tomb in the Valley of the Kings, the most exquisite out of all the Valley of the Kings. You understand what I'm saying? And he raised one hell of a son in Ramesses the second, which is arguably the greatest king, African king that ever lived. Brother put down more goddamn, megalithic structures than any one man on the planet. Very, very powerful. And in this, and I'm going to show this, in the Abydos, go look it up, which was the first holy, even though there are a lot of holy cities in Africa, this was the first city, just like you see a Mecca today, or a Jerusalem today, or the Vatican City today, or, some holy city over in India like the Ganges River, where you make these major pilgrimages. Abydos was the first city on record in history where there were pilgrimages made to a deity. And this was his holy city. Abydos was the sacred city of Osiris. Now, the temple that was constructed by Seti the first was the latest temple, not the earliest temple. Behind that temple is what they call the Osirian, the Osirian temple, and it's considered to be older than the temple in front. And in that Osirian temple is where they say Osiris was buried. Now, so he wasn't, they consider Osiris to be a real king at some period of time, and he was deified, he was deified. So much of the legend very well may be true, even though we know that mythologies take on, where we expand with a lot of, mythological, stretching of the story, and that's all right. But the core of it be true. You see what I'm saying? So many, and another thing that the white boy Flinders Petrie found a skull in the temple, in his complex. So, that's what gives it more credit or credence that it might actually have been the grave site of the earliest king of one of the earliest king, because many people say within the spiritual teachings of ancient Egypt that Osiris was the first king. He was the first king, and all other kings descend from Osiris. Okay? Now, in that temple, you have a chapel, you know what I'm saying, in the back of that, the first temple, the temple built by Seti the first, okay? In that temple is a chapel, and and it's many chapels, but it's in the far back. And the people who've been there and know what I'm talking about. You know, you come in, you got 7 Holy of Holies, the only temple in ancient Egypt with 7 Holy of Holies. And then you go in the back, and there's a chapel with, you know, not only the king, you got one chapel with the king's list, and then you got one chapel where you see the resurrection of Osiris. You see his phallus, which, you know, the crazy Caucasoids went in there and called the phallus out, and then you see Isis as a hawk descending down on the phallus. You understand? Receiving the holy sperm of Osiris. And that, you know, in essence was the Immaculate Conception, resurrection story of Osiris. You understand? And now in the other chapel, you have what you call the Abydos King's List. Very, very important. Because the one thing about ancient Egypt outside of any other civilization, I don't give a goddamn. I'm sick of all this weak shit that motherfuckers is talking, and the facts is so overwhelming that Egypt is the mother of all, and we understand Ethiopia being even older than Egypt, but Egypt is the fountainhead of all civilization outside of Africa and in the world. It is the fountainhead where motherfuckers came to drink from the fountain of civilization and high culture and science and spirituality and language and religion. Sick of it. We got to turn this corner. You understand? I can't have no mercy. See, and I used to get on niggas because we allow all these niggas to the table. You know, we would say we got to work. No, we don't got to work together. If we got the wrong motherfucking information, there's no way we gonna work together. You know what I'm saying? If you got a motherfucking GPS, goddamn it, and you know, and you look and you put in the coordinates to go one way to a certain place, and you know it's, you know, not necessarily where it's at, but you know in what direction, and you see you put the coordinates in, but the motherfucker's taking you outside, and you got to understand, you know, you got to stop. You know, some motherfuckers will keep going and keep going. You understand what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers put the wrong coordinates in. Some people put the right coordinates in. But at some point in time, even if you put the right coordinates in and that motherfucker still taking you the wrong way, you got to have enough motherfucking sense to stop. Like, wait a minute, man. I put this shit, but it ain't taking me where the fuck. So you have to stop. You can't keep going. You understand what I'm saying? Where you know, and the shit taking you to the wrong location. You see what I'm saying? So them niggas got wrong motherfucking information. They done plugged the wrong information in the GPS. And you know what I'm saying? And some motherfuckers think they plugged the right location in the GPS. And you know what I'm saying? And you're going nowhere. You understand? You put the motherfucking coordinates in to nowhere, and that's where your ass gonna get. No motherfucking where. You understand what I'm saying? So when you know a motherfucker got the wrong coordinates, I can't work with you. I cannot work with you. Okay, we all need to know, fuck that. If you got the wrong information, I cannot work with you. And some of you motherfuckers and wonder why we ain't got no motherfucking where. Because either the information is right or it's wrong. Ain't no in motherfucking between. That's just that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why, yeah, I sit down with you know, with some of the brothers, you know, and I have a cordial conversation. But at some point in time, they know how, nigga, I'm going to take the gloves off. I'm not going to, you know, act like, yeah, you know, the information that I brought wasn't right and exact. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. So, yeah, I'm going to sit down and be cordial with you for a minute. And before long, I'm going in your motherfucking mouth. I'm going to bring the truth because ain't no sense of having no frivolous contact, no frivolous situation that ain't going to bring truth to light. Okay? And so, you know, a lot of these biblical motherfuckers, they want to use Ramesses, they want to use Tutmosis, they want to use all these kings and, you know, and try to manipulate them into the biblical story to make the biblical story work. But when you go to this king's list, it totally destroys all biblical chronology. It blow it clean out the goddamn water. And I'm warming up and I'm going to show you, you know, exactly what I mean. And so, you know, on this king's list, and when you get to it, and it's not the only king's list, in ancient Egypt. Okay, but this one is, if I'm not mistaken, some of the other, got, different parts of the Egyptian, the Egyptian royalty that the other, kings list might not have. But at that time, Seti put up, what he thought, was the clear great kings, legitimate of the Egyptian bloodline. And it was 76 kings that was put up, carved with their names in the cartouches, carved on this king's list. And it's on a long wall. It ain't no little wall. Okay, so he starts with Narmer, which is, technically the first king of ancient Egypt. He's not the first African or united Egypt, okay? United, you know what I'm saying? Reunited. Let me clear that up. Reunited. And so dynastic Egypt started with Narmer, even though there were African kings before Narmer. We got to be clear about that. We're talking about dynastic Egypt. Now, Egypt existed before dynastic Egypt. But now here comes a king that unites all chiefdoms, all city-states under one national accord. Okay, and so this is we just want to be clear that even though we speak of Narmer being the first dynastic king of Egypt, he's not the first African king. There were kings in Nubia that existed 1,000 years before Narmer. Okay, and that's got to be clear. And that's another, added, nuclear bomb that destroys the Bible. And I'm going to show you why it destroys the Bible. Okay? So 76 kings and Narmer with the European dating system. And we'll use that. It don't, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still, they didn't, when you lying, you ain't getting that shit right. So you lying while you running and hiding, and you lying, and certain information hasn't shown its head yet. So when you told them early lies, that with that particular dating system, other information came up after you told that lie to refute that lie. You understand what I'm saying? You wish you hadn't told that one. So you keep revising and revising and revising until the shit's so thin. The lies are so thin, man. It's not even in a real nigga's consciousness to even speak the shit, because a damn child can tell you lying. If you put the real facts out there, child will sit up there and say, nigga, don't come and tell me no shit like that. I can count 1 + 1. You know what I'm saying? I know it's 2. And so you niggas is so caught up in the lie, you cannot give up the lie. And that's the addiction, the psychological addiction of the oppressors' lies that, that's deep down, even worse than goddamn dope, even worse than a lot of the addiction that niggas is having today. The addiction to the oppressors' lies is the greatest fucking addiction, because that's what's keeping us in a goddamn predicament, and what causes us to, hide in our mind, and in many instances causes us to latch on to the other goddamn addictions, because we so busy hiding from reality, and reality kicking our ass, and we so attached to the goddamn lie, we don't know how to give up the goddamn lie. We end up falling down in society and other addictions that take us even further and further and further down into the hole. So we talking about the Abydos kings. Listen, we're going to be touching on this even more so after the fact. But Abydos being the sacred city of Osiris, the earliest pilgrimage is on record to a city, a holy city. So long thousands of years before Mecca, thousands of years before Jerusalem, Vatican City, or any of that. Okay, this is the primordial holy city of Black people, was sacred. And you could go there and you would see that they would bring jars with prayers inside of them. And so over the thousands of years of pilgrims coming to the sacred temple and the sacred city of Osiris, the shards of the jars had collected over thousands of years. You see what I'm saying? So long before they went to the the wall, the wailing wall, the wail and shit. We tired of you wailing, motherfucker. Stand up. You've been lying too damn long. We, wailing, the wailing wall and shit. And so they go over there and put a little prayer in the wall so you could go and see at the temple of Abydos where they, the Africans, and not just Africa, the whole world, because Osiris was the Messiah of the ancient world. So just like Jesus is the dominant, worshiping Messiah of today, at that time, Osiris was the dominant Messiah, Savior, deity of the ancient world. So he had worshipers from all over. Now, I don't know how our family did, but because I don't believe they allowed any type of, because Europeans wasn't even on the scene at that time. So we're talking about from, the Eastern Kush, which is the Naga Kushites, what we call India today, and from the East would come just like, and come and pray. They did not allow Europeans or what you call white Asians or this, that, and the third, because they hadn't even broken through the barrier of the African fortified, fortresses of, the northern region. They hadn't even broken through there yet. They only came through there with Alexander. Now, let me get back to the list and why the list and the dating is so critical, because you got 76 kings on it. And so even from the European dating system, which is fraudulent. We understand that. They try to keep that shit just, so close to, the created biblical chronology. So you're not too far away from the Bible and Mesopotamia. You get too far away, then they can't lie no more. You understand what I'm saying? So, but, many Europeans have given up on the shit because they want to know the goddamn truth. You know what I'm saying? So you got some rogue Europeans that's not, and they ain't saying nothing that African scholars ain't already said. Dr. Ben and all the great scholars have been said the dating system was fucked. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need no European niggas will come and say, well, the Europeans, so goddamn what? That's old. They're going to get our scholars information, and you ain't got enough goddamn sense to go and first reference your own African scholar. You would come put the white boy up like he invented this shit old, nigga. Goddamn, quit, parroting the goddamn oppressor. You understand? I don't use no oppressors as no first-hand reference. I use them, but I use them only for niggas with crackatosis and niggeritis. Because, that's the only thing gonna trigger you. Once you saw a couple, and then you could go, and it's not because I don't need to use shit, because I'll crush down on any European, even the motherfuckers that's out here today. Whatever his name, Graham, Hancock, whatever the fuck them, I'll smash down on their thieving ass. You understand? Because they ain't number thieves and they lying. They lying. They'll tell a little something, and and you on the hook, and then they reel your bitch ass in, and you buying all Graham Hancock books and this, that, and the third, and the cracker don't know no more than his barbaric ancestors 2,000 years previous. Back to the list. Now, Narmer from the European dating system is given at 3100 BC. Okay, then you got all the way down to Seti I himself is the last king on the list. So you got 76 kings, starting with Narmer, and I'm about to get the visuals up there, starting with Narmer, ending with Seti. Now, Seti ruled in around 1200 BC. So 3100, 12, that's damn near 1900, rounding off at 2000. No other people on this planet got an original kings list. Okay? Original. I don't want to hear nothing about no Bible, no China, no India. None of them got an original kings list. And that's not the only one. So you got 2,000 years of dying. And that's and the crazy shit about it. That ain't all the kings. That ain't all the kings. Those was the ones, the great ones. You know what I'm saying? That were accepted by Seti as being, and you're gonna see his son, and I'm gonna get into it in 1 second, but I had to warm you up. so that you would understand. And when I show you this, when I start swiping their ass, then it's going to become much clearer on how it's just wiping the Bible out, just eradicating it altogether. Okay, so these were the great ones, and then you can go on other kings lists, and it was kings inside. They might not have been as great. You understand what I'm saying? They rule might not have been for a long time. You understand? They might not have been an accepted bloodline. You understand what I'm saying? So Seti at that time clean, and I love that. That's why I accept the one from my spiritual father before I accept any other, because he cleaned it up. He was upset that after Akhenaten, who was a weak motherfucker, who came and turned his back on the ancestral worship. And a lot of people put him up there. No, motherfucker, you don't come and do no shit like that. Even if you add on, you don't erase the record of thousands of years of your ancestors that put the greatest. You are an inheritor of the goddamn civilization. Nigga, it's been here for hundreds of thousands of years before you got here. You don't come and change, you add on. But he came and he changed and shut down many ancient spiritual systems and belief systems of the Africans. And they were upset at his ass. You know what I'm saying? Many of them, in reality, his whole fucking bloodline was removed. They don't want to talk about it, but that was the right thing because they tried to give him credit, you know what I'm saying, for doing, just like they say that Akhenaten brought, monotheism, which is not true. It was monotheism in Africa, in Egypt, long before goddamn Akhenaten. He just wanted to, promote his own particular God and close down. And then closing down, that's like, the great houses, of Ptah and Amen, who've been here. You don't want to give respect to them. And so you want it all for yourself. So you start closing down houses of African, certain African great families and that been in the, in the Nile Valley for thousands of years, and they plotted on your ass. They plotted on you, even with your mother, Queen T, being in the house. She tried to, get you together. So you be like, they coming for your ass. Now I love you. You my son, and I'm gonna try to keep them off your head as long as I can. But she outlasted all they ass. You know what I'm saying? Because she was, she didn't follow his faith. And motherfuckers talking about she didn't follow his faith because she knew that somehow the outside had touched Akhenaten. You understand? Even though Nefertiti seemed to be an African woman, she was not from the royal bloodline of the Nile Valley. She was not from the royal. So whether she was an African woman or not, and she came in and the nigga did some things, he made her the head wife that had never been done. No other woman outside of the African bloodline had ever been the head queen. And so he did some shit, and and said he scratched his ass off. His name is not on the list, and nobody fucking with Akhenaten is on the list. Bitch, y'all gone. You up out, and even Hatshepsut, and I love Hatshepsut, but Hatshepsut did some things that she should not have done. She took the role of the masculine, king, and she should not have done that. She should have ruled as a queen, because even today, when we talk about, she having a beard and even putting on the breastplate, because you're going to have people ask, was she the other way? And just the fact that people ask that motherfucking question shows you the damage, even though it does not, erase the greatness of the African queen, because she was one of the greatest rulers of ancient Egypt, at hands down. She's in the top 10, and that means a whole lot. Even though her name is not on, he still respected her as a queen. And if she would have stayed, she still goes down as one of the top 10 rulers of ancient Egypt with all the things that she brought to Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? Even propelling the African woman into, areas of society that they hadn't been in. She propelled the African woman at that time. So we give her high respect and veneration for that. But she stepped out of line. She was not a king. You understand what I'm saying? And she should not have done that. Okay? She should have not done that. And for that, she was eradicated from the king's list. Okay, and she's not a king. Okay, and so I respect that. You know, if that king at that time seen the necessity to make a correction, and he did that. He said, fuck that, y'all fucked it up. Y'all had all this power and y'all fucked it up. So here comes Seti and Ramesses II to put that shit right back. They went to straight cracking head where Akhenaten and them fell off and shit. Was not reinforcing the army. He want to, pick flowers and shit and talk about he ain't gonna harm nobody and allow the colonies outside of Egypt, where the enemy reclaimed the colonies and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you had governors from all out the colonies sending letters to Egypt like, please send reinforcement. And this motherfucker out in the middle of the goddamn desert picking flowers and shit. Reading poems and shit. This, that, and the third. He wasn't a great king. See, only for those spiritual spooky niggas we don't need no smoke spook. We need some great leaders that know how to lead a nation. And yes, spirituality is one of those major, but it's not all of it. Okay, it's only a aspect of leadership. And so when you unbalanced in all the other areas and you're lacking and shit in all the other areas, then the nation withered. So with all that spirituality that nigga had, he was one of the kinks. When we talk about Egypt, why Egypt failed, even though Egypt, he was one of the reasons. Because at that time, when we needed a powerful king, you understand what I'm saying? And, to come behind it, his whole bloodline, even Tutankhamun, who we call Tut, he was removed from because that was, his son-in-law. Some people say it was his son, and that's cool. However, you know what I'm saying? But he was not, and I don't believe that he was his son because, I believe that, he was maybe the son of one of his sisters or this, that, and the third. But he married Akhenaten's daughter, and I have never seen that. Those marriages between brothers and sisters, that was only so that the king could be official, because you had to be born of, or you had to marry the queen that was the matriarch. You understand? Next in line. So you had to marry one of those royal women to be considered for the kingship. So that don't mean, Hatshepsut was married to Tutmosis, but her man was, what's his name? Dang. I'll get his name. Damn, I used to know his name. But anyway, they got a picture of him holding. So she did not have no children with her brother. That was some dumb shit. People don't understand that we don't have no incest in Africa like that. You can go all up in European bloodline. Them motherfuckers got bleeders disease and all that shit. You don't see no deformed motherfucker. Yeah, there's a couple motherfuckers had an ailment or two. Tutankhamun had an ailment, but majority of the kings did not. So you gonna have, one or two. But if you land with your peoples like that, nigga, you gonna have some diseases popping off in and so the Africans had a great taboo of insects. Okay, they had a great so within that, you see that Akhenaten didn't make the king's list. Tutankhamun did not make the king's list. Hatshepsut. So they cleaned that up. Y'all motherfuckers out of pocket. This shit like, Dallas. And when you watch the what's that show with JR and Dallas and all, you got all this controversy and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got the goddamn, what you call the in the morning, the soap operas and shit. This was even though it was one of the richest periods, you had a lot of crazy shit popping off. So it was an era in which you had, and that shit could take the minds of the people in the direction that it don't need to be going. So Egypt got so wealthy and so rich and so powerful that it went to slipping. That's what happened. When you reach a certain level, even when you the champ, You know, if you don't, you know, if you ain't, you know, sometimes you think you get to the top and you don't do the shit that got you there. When you get and become a champ, you become lazy. That's just like Mike Tyson. When he became the champ, that nigga went out there drinking and shit and this, that, and the third. You know, he wasn't training like he wasn't focused like he was supposed to be. Went in there and busted Douglas, knocked his ass out. You understand what I'm saying? Straight the fuck up. He should not have let that happen. And you can see that, you know, certain things that, and he started tumbling until he was out the picture, you know. And I rooted for the nigga, and even in all his losses, because that was one of my icons. And I say, you know, I love this man for the, you know, he's a warrior, and we need warriors. You know what I'm saying? So I was always rooting for him. But damn, Mike, you know, you let in. But at the same time, he even in that, he came back, and you know, I feel that he reclaimed his dignity because he speak with a lot of common sense. He tells motherfuckers, you know what got him in that condition. He ain't scared to say it neither, you know. And so I like the rawness of him teaching, you know, with his life, using his life as a platform. So that's in essence what happened with ancient Egypt, and you know, it began to stumble, and it wasn't doing the things that got it to the position that it was in, and ultimately that was the downfall. And so Seti was coming to try to bring, you know, and they did invigorate Egypt. You know, Seti, Ramesses II, and then not Ramesses, if I'm not mistaken, Ramesses III. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, if it's not Ramesses III, Ramesses VI. I got to look that up. You understand? Wait a minute. Matter of fact, let me look that. I need to get y'all, because that king Ramesses the third or the sixth, that motherfucker is one of the greatest kings. You understand what I'm saying? No doubt about it, because he went out there busting heads too. You understand? People don't give him, you know, because Ramesses II, you know, was so great that all the other Ramesside kings, but it's only them two. Okay, wait a minute. And then I'm about to get to the let me get this. I need to get that king. He built the temple of Menehat-Habu. Who built that temple? Ramesses III. I was right. So it was Ramesses III. So you had them three right there. And then you came, and so they did, and then after that, it was some weak kings. It got weak again. You know, them three kings tried to bring the noise, and they did. But then after them three kings, it got weak again, to where the 25th dynasty, the Nubians, Shabaka, Taaka, Pianki, yet they had to come up and reclaim, you know, because they had lost their greatness. You see what I'm saying? And the 25th dynasty technically is the last dynasty, even though it was a couple of kings that came after. That was the downfall. So again, now I give you the rundown on the kings list. It's over 2,000 years. Now let's look at why it destroys biblical chronology. How we doing? Is we in the house? Is we in the house? Okay, we're in the house. Okay. Okay, we're in the house. I just had to look up to see if everybody was there. Let me share the page. I got a lot of great stuff coming up, so y'all need to stick with me. If you don't stick with me, then you bullshit. Straight up. You don't want to be down with the real team. You don't. Nah. Let me get my phone so I can get my mount. Woo. I'm in the house today, family. Hold on, family. I'm trying to get my monitor up. Just give me a sec. Okay, I'm up. I got to make sure that I stay on. Now, this is Abydos. For all my family that been over there, this is the sacred temple built by Seti the first in honor of Osiris. Now, in the back, I didn't get all of that because I want to stay, I'll come back to it because I'm doing some other videos on ancient Egypt, the 10 most sacred cities of ancient Egypt, and I'll show you even behind this temple, an older temple, and then many of these foundations of Egypt. If you get Dr. Ben's book From Abu Simbel to Giza, you will see that there's temples up under it. That if you dig up under the foundation of this temple, is older temples. It could be 5 or 6 different layers of foundations where, because they build right on top of an earlier temple. So that's so even at this spot, this is one of the ancient areas of Upper Egypt. This is where they have, even out further from this temple, in this same area, is where you find the earliest burials of the early kings of Egypt, right in this area. Okay, so no matter what you're talking about, when people try to act as if the Egyptians came from out, no, the earlier burials of the kings were in the south. They were not in the north, where Egypt is in the north. So when you're talking about the early king, they came from the south. Now, in this temple, here it is, in one of the chapels, and it's so long that I can't show you the whole, the length of it. You know what I'm saying? But there's over 76 kings. And so when you're looking at the very first one at the top, if you look at the top, that's Nar. And you go all the way down to Seti the first, which is over 2,000 years. Okay? And you see right there, that's Ramesses the second. Now that's very critical. That's very critical. That's very critical, family. And the reason why I want to say that is because they claim that even if you watch, the Prince of Egypt and all of that shit, they say Seti the first is the king that, during the time of Moses, who accepted Moses, which we know is a damn lie. And they showed that Ramesses grew up with Moses as his brother, which we know is a fucking lie. And so even in the Bible, it says, and Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Okay, then, well, if this is the education that Seti is giving Ramesses II, we are to assume no less than Moses would have had to have the same goddamn education. And so you can see that these kings are properly named. You go in the Bible, they talking about Pharaoh, my ass. What's his goddamn name? You understand what I'm saying? They got over 76 kings on this kings list, and each one of them got a name. Okay, and so you never hear no damn names or no nothing. So that's how we know that the biblical character called Moses ain't never been in no damn Egypt, in no house of the Pharaoh, under no which he would have received a royal education, just as you see this king right here, Ramesses II, as a young man. You see him with the princely lock on his side, and you see his father with his hand outstretched. He's saying, behold, these are the great kings in which you should study. That's going that's going to push you to be the greatest king that ever ruled in ancient Egypt. Okay? And so now, what's clear, which is going to destroy all of this. Let me come up to here, and I'm going to come back. Now, number one, when you study in the biblical story, I want y'all to understand this shit. And I don't want nobody to get away from this, and everybody don't have the same level of understanding as other people. So if you understand this or if you don't understand it, let people get this, because this is the raw elementary information that helps destroy the rest of the information in the Bible. So other people, they feel like I listen to some of you niggas, and you niggas is confused too. So let the family get it from the rawest elementary form. Now, when you're talking about Egypt, you're talking about Ethiopia, when you talk about Canaan, which is modern day Israel, all of them are according to the Bible, the children of Ham. If you look at the second one from the top on this timeline, you'll see Ham born in 2440 BC. This is according to biblical chronology. Okay, then you look down, you see Cush born 2342. Okay, but if you look up at the top, you will see the Great Pyramids of Egypt built in 2550 BC. Okay, and those are not even the oldest goddamn pyramids in Egypt. You in a crisis right then and there, because number one, we're talking about the flood. Now, let me see when the flood was. If you look over to the right, the flood was in 2344 BC. Okay? Let me get my timeline so I can crack this shit on what I want. Okay? Now, number one, see, the flood come, number one, it shouldn't have been no Egypt until after the flood, number one. But of course, if you look up, you can see that the pyramid of Giza are dated at 2550. Okay, and when you understand that Ham, his three sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, their wives, Noah and his wife were the only people that survived the flood. Okay, they're the only people that survived the flood. And so these 8 people get on the boat. There is no Egypt. There is no, because Egypt is the son of Ham. Ethiopia is the son of Ham. They wasn't even born into after the flood. See, right there, you in a fucking crisis because you are not supposed to have no damn Egypt before the flood. Now, I didn't even get a chance to put the pictures up of the tsunamis. What land mass, I had a before and after the tsunamis. Now, even if it was nations on the earth, they did not survive. Okay, they did not survive. The only people that survived the flood was those 8 people that got on the goddamn boat. Now, imagine that. When that flood receded, the type of damage, you understand what I'm saying, that would have been on the planet. The type of, when you look at the tsunami before and after, when they had them type of, and that's a tsunami, you understand what I'm saying? But it's like the world coming to an end. Because I was looking at, how that water come in, and some motherfuckers is on a catastrophic in a certain area. That's catastrophic. It's wiping out thousands. The last great tsunami that was even over there in Japan, but I'm talking about the one that hit over there in East Asia, took out them to 200,000 some goddamn people. You understand what I'm saying? So this flood wiped out. So it should not have been nobody on the motherfucking planet. This is key. And I want you to understand that. So, why these motherfuckers try to use Ramesses, and that's bullshit. Come to this right here and let's deal with this. Okay? Number one, again, there should not have been no Egypt, no Ethiopia until after the flood. But here you see that the pyramids are already standing. The pyramids is already standing. So right there, that's clear that the so-called Egypt or Mizraim of the Bible is not the true Egypt. That's some bunch of bullshit that the Egypt, talking about Egypt come from, how the fuck did Egypt come from Ham, and the pyramids is standing in the sand before Ham is goddamn born. Look at that, Ham born in 2440, and the pyramids are standing at 2550 BC. Okay, these ain't even the oldest pyramids, because the pyramid of Zolja, constructed by Imhotep, was constructed around 2700 BC. Okay, and then you got Narmer at 3. So how in the fuck can Egypt be the son of Ham if Egypt already on the goddamn planet That right there is one of the most critical. For me, it is the most damaging, one of the most damaging facts that cannot, I don't want to hear nothing about no Ramesses, no goddamn Israel, or none of that shit. That's all garbage when you bring it right here to this point. Number one, there should not be, so when you come back over here, you see all that, there should be no Pharaoh before the flood, because Egypt as a nation should have not existed at the time. Now, if you see this is, listen to me now. This is 2,000 years. You got Narmer, the first king. You got 76 kings. You got Narmer, the first king. And then you got Seti, the last king. That's 2,000 years. Now, the flood fell within that, 2344. Now, you see, even after the flood, you know, and within that, you talking about all these great goddamn monuments by each king is going up. So even after the flood, it should have taken hundreds of thousands of years to even get the population back up, let alone to be having great megalith, because now you're going to have to obtain all that information. Whatever you had before the flood is gone. The people are gone. You understand what I'm saying? So now you got to repopulate the whole goddamn planet again. And so you starting from 8 people. You know how long it would take to get millions and millions and millions of people, and you got to go through ancestral means to achieve this. So if there was a flood that flooded out the whole world, it is no way you're going to have 2,000 years of consecutive kings. It's impossible. You see what I'm saying? So even after the flood, it would have taken hundreds of thousands of years to achieve the level of accomplishment that was in Egypt at the time. You building pyramids, you ain't just gonna come off no goddamn boat and build no damn pyramids. Nigga, you got to start with the hut, and then you got to, you know, and work up, and then you go to the mud hut, then you go to a mud brick, and then, you know, you talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of years of development. You understand what I'm saying? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years of development. So see, if people don't look at that shit and break that shit down logically, you sitting up here, that's what I mean when you allow these motherfuckers to mix and match reality with falsehood. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, so at the time of the biblical flood, the dynastic rule should have abruptly stopped. Okay, wherever date that flood was supposed, and it wiped out everybody on the planet. And at first, it shouldn't be no Egypt before the flood, because Ham is the father of goddamn Egypt and Ethiopia. And so only 8 people came off the damn boat. All the children of Ham, Shem, and Japheth were born after the goddamn flood. That's ridiculous, family. We're in the house today. You see what I'm saying? So let me see, 2030, let me see where that would have been. Let me bring this up. So you seeing, right, wait a minute, let me bring this up. So you talking about 23, what was that damn flood? Let me see. Wait a minute. I'm going so damn fast. So you got the flood at 2344. Okay, so that would bring you into the 5th dynasty. If you look at the top on the right, that would bring you into the 5th dynasty. Okay, so you didn't already have, so whenever that flood happened, it should have abruptly, let's be real, it should not be no Egypt, first and foremost. Okay, when you're going by the chronology of the Bible. But for argument's sake, after the 5th dynasty or during the 5th dynasty, the kings list should have abruptly stopped. It should not be no kings after the damn flood. And as you can see, the king list still continued consecutively. You understand what I'm saying? For over 2,000 years. Okay, so that right there is a major goddamn, it totally destroyed the Bible chronology for any nigga with common sense. Okay, because it's too many if, ands, and goddamn but, because Egypt got so many megaliths. Okay, too many megaliths that built, each king got his own temple. Each king got his own burial. Some kings got pyramids to the sky. Okay, so it's too many megaliths. You understand what I'm saying? Consecutively for over 3,000 years. And if there was a flood, it ain't even supposed to be no people on the planet. And so after the fifth dynasty, if it was a flood, then how the fuck is they still building pyramids and it's only 8 people and you need hundreds of thousands of motherfuckers to drag them stones and shit? You can't build no damn pyramids or no megaliths with 8 motherfuckers, and they didn't have the knowledge to do it no way. You see what I'm saying? Because if they did, they would have built some in Israel, which they did not do. You see what I'm saying? So any nation on earth would have been obliterated, and it would have taken thousands of years for the planet to repopulate the earth. And not only repopulate the earth, you understand what I'm saying? You're talking about gathering the knowledge to be able to build on that level. That shit, you can't even do it today. Let no, you know what I'm saying? So you talking about, it's been, you talking about if the pyramids were built at 2550 BC, and you got to understand it's already 2019. You're talking about almost it's been as much time, that then, it's been over 5,000 years. And ain't nobody even came close to even getting, building a damn pyramid or on that level. You understand what I'm saying? So that just show you how technical the knowledge was and how long it would have taken to, create that type of wisdom. So we talking about hundreds of thousands in the Bible, and you talking about shit from Abraham. You talking about you look down there at 1991, 1816, and you talking about the pyramids are already standing. But they say the Jews built the pyramid. How the fuck is you built the pyramid and Abraham coming he's the first fucking Jew. He's the first Jew. Niggas don't even got no chronology. He's the first. So how in the fuck could the Jews build the goddamn pyramids at 2550 and the first Jew who was Abraham, the first who God, his covenant. Abraham is the father of the nation. He's the father of the Israelite nation. It starts with Abraham. Okay, so God ain't even created his covenant with Abraham yet. So there is no Jew or no Hebrew or none of that, because that started with Abraham. In 1991, 1816, they ain't even on the goddamn planet and the pyramids is already standing. So how in the fuck was y'all in Egypt building goddamn pyramid and y'all ain't even on the motherfucking planet yet? I want to talk to y'all today. You see what I'm saying? So this is the Abydos Kings. Listen, we're gonna get deeper into this. You understand? But that quick reference is devastating. The quick reference is devastating. When you go to that Kings list and see it's 2,000 years consecutively, no break, no flood that wiped out the whole world. And again, when I gave you the key daggers to throw in the chest. Again, when you study the biblical story that Egypt, which is Mizraim, Ethiopia, Canaan, and Punt are the children of Ham. It should not have been no Egypt before the flood. That's the reality. But the facts is Egypt got some of the greatest of its megalithic structures already standing before and after the flood. And if the flood, and it only supposed to be 8 people still on the damn planet, then the question is, why do you have all these kings, all these damn temples, all these damn pyramids, consecutively for 2,000 years? It should have been an abrupt halt to the dynastic period. It should have been an abrupt halt in the 5th dynasty, and it shouldn't have been no more kings in ancient Egypt. It shouldn't have been on the planet, no way, but it should not have been no more kings. And the fact is, when we go to this kings list, we see 2,000 years of kings on the list, no flood, no end to the world. You understand? No Ham, no Mizraim, no Noah, no none of that. So once you know, it's certain key links in that chain. If you pull out Noah, you pull out Ham, you pull out Shem, you have destroyed the Bible. It's every link on that chain, they got to have every link. And I can damn near go to every link and destroy every fucking link on the chain separately. Okay, and this right here destroys the flood, it destroys Noah, it destroys Ham, it destroys the Egypt of the Bible, and that's why they always say Pharaoh, 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 because they were not in Egypt. If they were in Egypt, they would have a greater recollection of the king's names. And it ain't hard if you gonna know the king's name. If you don't know nothing, I don't give a fuck if you know the language or not. I don't know Russian, but I know Putin. You motherfucker, when you saying very powerful men's names around the world all the time, and they of a great note and of great power, you gonna know they name. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know goddamn Arabic, but I know Saddam Hussein. I know Muammar Gaddafi. You understand what I'm saying? So you gonna know some damn names. And the fact is, if Moses or any of them motherfuckers was in Egypt for 400 years, they would have at least known some kings' names. And matter of fact, they would have known the Egyptian language. But the fact that they use a blanketed term, Pharaoh, for every damn king shows you that they didn't know no names, because they didn't know no kings, because they were never in Egypt at no time in history. That the Jew is just as mythological, the Hebrews is just as mythological as the goddamn X-Men or the goddamn Avengers. Okay, that's just as mythological as any of them goddamn comic book characters. So I want y'all to wake up today. I want y'all to go back, study the Abydos Kings list. I want y'all to study the beginning, every king from beginning to end, which I will be highlighting the great kings of that kings list very soon. Every day I'm gonna pick some of the great ones. But once you understand the time period and you understand the chronology of the Bible and understanding that Egypt and all, and how he's supposedly the son of Ham, and when you line them chronologies up and you look at the fact that it ain't supposed to be no peoples on the planet, but these 8 peoples, yet its pyramid is going up every year, all year for 2,000-3,000 fucking years. You got to end the lie. You got to end the lie today. Okay, there's just something you cannot get around. This fact right here cannot be gotten around. People choose love, into this fact right here is one of the most critical, damaging facts of the Bible. Critical. This one. I don't give a fuck about the other ones that on, this one is one of the top 2 daggers that destroys the Bible. God damn it. And if I'm leaning, I'm going with this one first. I'm going in with this one first. And then I'll line the other ones up. This would probably be my number, because there's no way to get around it. So family, I want to thank y'all for coming out. You understand what I'm saying? This is the Ancient Egypt Hour. We're going to be on Ancient Egypt for the next couple of months. I got some hot shit. Please believe it. Don't go nowhere. If you ain't subscribed, nigga, you something wrong with you. You understand? I don't have to tell motherfuckers to hit notification. Nigga, the general is on and popping, nigga. Seti Live is lit, nigga. And so I know you didn't subscribe. You hitting notification. You like it because you love it. Share the goddamn video so you can wake motherfuckers up. I don't care if you're mad or not. If you come and put a comment on my shit, I see they'll put anything in it. You understand what I'm saying? Mad at me. And so long as I move you, whether you're with me or against me, long as I move you to be a part of the Seti experience, then I done my job, because some of you niggas is just stuck on stupid. And so if I could take a stuck on stupid nigga and generate even hate in his ass, I done jarred something in his ass to make him move. And that's what it's about, baby. We making niggas move. We making niggas think. We making motherfuckers, you know, it's time to reevaluate reality that we live in. Okay, so I thank you, family. I'll be black tomorrow. Going right on over to the Sarah Seti YouTube channel. We about to get down with the African chakra system, the oldest system in the world, to show that the one you niggas is fucking with today was built for a Hindu, and somehow some of you niggas think you Hindu. Okay, you cannot cut and paste another motherfucker's reality on your reality. And so they stole it from us, and then they didn't cut and pasted and reconfigured it for their system. And you niggas thinking you gonna excel in another man's system, come on and watch me crack, and you gonna have them niggas crying the blue. Oh man, Seti, man, we trying to fuck you, nigga. You ain't, that's why we got to get rid of you niggas. You the same, you the reason why we in this predicament now, because it's a hard decision to make to cut some weak shit off. When you got a branch on the goddamn tree and it got disease in it, nigga, it's hard, but you got to chop it. It's gonna spread through the damn tree. And so that's what's happening today. So family, give me 5 minutes, come right on over to the Sarah Seti YouTube channel, and we're gonna get down and show the Egyptian, the ancient African chakra system, which the Hindu took from the Naga Kushite and remixed it and reconfigured it for their weak system. They weak system they got over there where they what they call that shit, they don't resurrect. They what's that shit where they come back? They come back as a plant or a goddamn rock or some shit like that. Nigga, you ain't got no spirituality. Some confusing with that. Where you reincarnation. Yeah, reincarnation. They ain't got the salvation of the African. They got where you can come back as a rock or a cow or a chicken. I'm sorry, family. You better come on over there and get your shit reconfigured. All right, family, Black Pop.